April, 1980. Georgia, USA. And in the 50th anniversary year of the greatest feat in golf, Bobby Jones' Grand Slam, 91 of the world's finest players assembled once again for the annual springtime rites at his lovely and most lasting creation, the Augusta National Golf Club, the 44th Masters. Round one, and in sublime weather, Australian Jack Newton goes for the green in two at the par 5 13th. Newton made 6 birdies on the front to turn in 32, and he's still 4 under par here. This for an eagle 3. Perfect line and speed. 6 under par with 5 holes to play. And here's another Australian with the bit between his teeth today. David Graham pitching to the par 5 15th. Graham is 1 back of Newton at 5 under. This for a birdie from about 15 feet and breaking left to right. Nicely done. Right in the middle, and that ties Graham for the lead with his fellow Aussie at 6 under par. Number 17, and here's the pride of Europe, Seve Ballesteros, putting for a birdie that would take him to 6 under also. Well, it's beginning to look like the United Nations around here. 2 Australians and a Spaniard out in front for most of the round until this man, Jeff Mitchell, in the last pairing of the day, comes to the final green, needing this putt to also finish 6 under. And down it goes, giving the young Texan an auspicious start to his first Masters and tying him at the top of the first day leaderboard with Ballesteros and Graham, 2 shots ahead of Jack Newton and Hubert Green. Round 2 and flawless weather again as David Graham fires a big 3-iron to number 15. It's been a roller coaster sort of day for the reigning PGA champion with a double bogey, par, and birdie in the last 3 holes. But he's still very much in the thick of things. This for an eagle 3. Nope, but that's a cast iron birdie, and it puts him 6 under for the tournament. Here's yet another Masters first-timer having fun. Rex Caldwell pitching to number 18, 3rd shot. And a deft one indeed. This for a round of 66. Yep, 5 under at the halfway mark, and Mr. Caldwell is definitely in there with a chance. Ballesteros to the 14th with a pitching wedge. Seve's looked a mite less inspired today than in his opening 66, but he's still the pacemaker at -7. And there's the kind of shot making that's made him the undisputed king of European golf these last 2 or 3 years. From about 20 feet, fast. Olé! 8 under, and all's well with the world. Number 17. From about 15 feet. Oh boy, what memories of his last year's British Open win that brings back. Seve duck-hooked his tee shot on this hole, way over to number 7 green. Then after a drop, had to hit a blind approach over tall trees. And the results? What else? A birdie. And so with a fine finishing par for a round of 69, Seve Ballesteros of Santander, Spain, 23 just 2 days ago, but already the winner of 24 tournaments around the world, leads the 1980 Masters at the halfway mark by 4 strokes from David Graham and Rex Caldwell, with 5 golfers 1 stroke farther back. Round 3, and a change for the worse in the weather, except for this gentleman, that is. Tee shot, number 13. Ballesteros with the driver. And it's heading for the woods. Nope, off a tree limb, and now nicely back in the fairway. Oh well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And here's another attacking stroke if you ever saw one. A 3-wood with about a 230-yard carry to clear the creek.
Pretty shot.
And he pulls it off again. With today's pin position, Seve has a much better birdie chance from there than he would have had laying up and trying to pitch close. From about 90 feet and putting the ball. And what a beautiful touch this young conquistador has to go with his enormous strength and go for broke attitude. So what looked for a moment like possible disaster again turns into a lovely birdie, putting Ballesteros 2 under for the day, 11 under for the tournament, and into the lead by 6 shots. Seve to number 14 with a pitching wedge after another give-it-everything drive. To go 12 under. Number 15, playing a 4-iron off another gigantic drive. For an eagle from about 50 feet. And absolutely stone dead. 3 birdies in a row, 13 under par, and Ballesteros is now 7 shots ahead of second place man Ed Fiore. Number 18, hitting a 7-iron. Seve dropped a shot to par at 16 with a weak chip, but this looks very good. This for a 68 and a 7-stroke lead once again. And there it is one more time. The magic touch of the man who not many years ago owned little more than an old 3-iron, and the certainty that someday he would become a champion at this game. Seve Ballesteros, 66, 69, 68 for 13 under par and one of the largest leads ever going into the final round of the Masters. 4th and final round. And here's a special pairing treat for the fans on this somber and storm-threatened Sunday. It's 16 years since Arnie won the last of his 4 Masters. But there's still no more popular figure here at Augusta National each spring. Jack took the last of his 5 Masters in 1975 and felt himself to be in pretty good shape for a 6th before the tournament began. But that missed birdie opportunity pretty much sums up his problem this week. A definite depression in the putting department. Early afternoon, and the leaders begin their pursuit of the man from Santander, but not too hopefully, they admit, in most cases. At 4 under, Gibby Gilbert, Jim Colbert, Rex Caldwell, and defending champion Fuzzy Zeller. At 5 under, J.C. Sneed, David Graham, and Jack Newton. At 6 under, Ed Fiore. And at 13 under, teeing off on number 1, Seve Ballesteros leading by 7. And with the thought perhaps on this almost windless afternoon that a 67 would give him a new Masters 72-hole record. Seve's hitting a pitching wedge to the first green after a 280-yard drive. Obviously, his nerves are pretty steady. And oh, what a beauty! Pin high and not more than 10 feet from the cup. This to go 14 under par. Number 3, the short par 4, driving with the 1-iron. And there's only one word to describe that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Should Ballesteros keep this up, he would become tonight, at 23 years and 4 days, the youngest ever winner of the Masters. He'd also be the first European winner and only the second non-American golfer to take the title. South African Gary Player is the first. Pitching wedge again. And what a glorious shot it is. To go 15 under. Tee shot, number 5, with the driver. And dead solid perfect yet again. 4-iron to a definitely tricky pin position. For his third birdie in the opening 5 holes and to go 16 under. Wow! 16 under, and within 1 shot of the Masters record with 13 holes to play. Number 10, second shot, and still 16 under. Ballesteros is now 10 strokes clear of Newton and Gibby Gilbert, which just might already be a Masters record, a record lead, from about 25 feet. Well, those have been pretty much gimmies all week. Whoops, a little bold maybe, but that's the only game Seve seems to know, and he thought he had made it. Still, he can afford a couple of mistakes at this stage of the game. 15 under, and leading by 9, and with no one so far making any kind of a run at him. But remember, of course, the next hole is the start of Amen Corner. Newton to number 11. With his mind, you'd have to believe, almost certainly on second place. And here's a shot that might help him in that direction. Ballesteros with a 6-iron. And is he going for the pin as usual? Nope, not this time. Played it to the safe part of the green. And who wouldn't in his position? From about 30 feet. And firmly struck. Newton from 15 feet or less. And down to the center, 7 under, and alone now in second place, 1 ahead of Gibby Gilbert. Seve for the par to stay 15 under. Yep, solid as a rock. Newton to number 12, 5-iron. And a beauty. Ballesteros with a 6-iron. And that ball is in Ray's Creek. And that's not all. Seve is now going to have to conjure up some sort of a miracle pitch shot to make even a bogey.
Ray's Creek comes down around in front of 12, and that is the hole. I said to my nephew, I said, make sure you use enough of club on that particular hole, either be on the green or over, but never short, because you can make 3 from the back of the green, but once you go into the water, you don't have Lord Bridges with you, and so you end up with, usually with 5 or more.
Newton for a birdie. Yes, 2 in a row. 8 under for the Aussie. Seve for bogey to stay 6 ahead of his playing partner. No, sir. Double bogey. He's still got plenty in hand, of course, but that certainly hasn't done anything for his nervous system. And Newton isn't Seve's only cause for concern right now. Hubert Green is 8 under with 1 hole to go. And there's another fellow beginning to get hot with 6 holes still left to play, Gibby Gilbert. As Seve was taking his lumps on 12, Gilbert was hitting to number 13. And very effectively, too. This for an eagle to join Newton 5 shots back of Ballesteros. And will it? Will it? Nope, not quite. But what a swing Amen Corner's producing yet again. Minutes ago, the Spaniard was 10 shots ahead. And now, with one of the famous 3 still to play, his margin is less than half that. Snead and Watson certainly knew what they were talking about. Here's Newton on the tee at number 13. And it's a beauty. Perfectly driven. Ballesteros with the driver again. He sure can't be accused of backing off. And that's a magnificent blow. Way out there. And well within iron shot range of the green. Gilbert to number 14. Also off a super drive. This to get within 5 shots of Ballesteros. Yeah, 8 under and really trucking. Seve to the 13th with a 3-iron. Oh, no, Rays Creek again. Maybe Seve's still having trouble getting himself together after that double bogey. And maybe, just maybe, this Masters isn't over with yet. Newton to the 13th, hitting a 4-iron. And putting it within definite birdie and possible eagle range. With the penalty, this will be Seve's 4th shot, which raises the possibility of a 3-stroke swing again right here. Not bad, but not dead either. Newton for the eagle. Well, that's at least 1 more stroke back for the Australian. And maybe his thoughts aren't quite so much on 2nd place anymore. This to stay 4 ahead of Newton, 5 ahead of Gilbert. A big bogey, which means that Seve has now dropped 7 shots to his closest pursuer over the last 4 holes. And that, folks, has to be as graphic an example as you'll ever see of how Amen Corner earns and keeps its sinister name and reputation. Gilbert to number 15, going for the green in 2. And making it with plenty to spare. If this drops, he'll be within 2 strokes of Ballesteros. Nope, well short. For birdie, and it's a must. Gilbert to number 16, the par 3. This is definitely some sort of inspired golf Gibby is playing. This for a 4th straight birdie. This to get within 2 shots of Ballesteros. Number 17. Gilbert is 20 feet beyond the hole in 2. get within a shot of the leader. Oh, so near and yet so far. Newton to 15 with the 3-iron. Talk about adrenaline. Both he and Seve parred number 14. Ballesteros with a 4-iron. Can you believe it? He hit the drive well over 300 yards. For an eagle 3 to go 11 under. Boldness has always been the Newton style. Now, Seve for the eagle and a green jacket for sure if he makes it. No, and that's no gimme either. Newton for the birdie and an absolute must putt. Gilbert bogeyed the final hole to finish at -9, which ties him with Newton. If Seve holds this, he'll have a 4-shot cushion to play in with. And there it is, comfortably parring number 16 and 17. And here triumphantly number 18, Seve Ballesteros, 23 years and 4 days old of Santander, Spain, plays 1/3 of the 72 holes under par, a record. And the par 4 holes, 6 under par, another record, to become both the youngest winner of the Masters and the first from Europe. Seve Ballesteros, son of a farmer, youngest of 4 golfing brothers, and still living in the house where he was born. Seve Ballesteros, winner of 9 National Open Championships around the world before he even got the key of the door. Seve Ballesteros invited to the 1980 Masters as the reigning British Open champion. Seve Ballesteros, the 1980 Masters champion. Olé, indeed. And here are the final standings.